When all of a sudden, everything changed and the noises stopped. The squirrels stopped, the birds stopped, the wind stopped. Everything was silent. Today's Night Terrors comes to us from a listener who had a very strange experience as a young girl that left her shaken for the rest of her life. The young girl and her friend went hiking out in the woods, and they went to a neighboring property and found a small cabin. They went inside the cabin and it was empty, so they opened the windows and shut the door and sat down to drink their water and cool off. It was late afternoon, around 5 or 6, and the sun was just over the tops of the trees, so it was still daylight out. They sat drinking their bottle of water, and they were listening to the wildlife outside, the birds and the squirrels, the wind and the trees. When all of a sudden, everything changed, and the noises stopped. The squirrels stopped, the birds stopped, the wind stopped. Everything was silent. And just as they were about to remark on the quietness, there came a sound. Off in the distance, soft, like the sound of rushing water. As the sound escalated in volume, the squirrels and the birds all of a sudden panicked and took off loudly. As the rush came up the creek, so did the sounds of nature as it reached them. It got louder and closer. They got to their feet and they closed the windows, quickly heading away from the cabin towards home. One girl slowed down and kept stopping, while the other one felt an unseen energy bearing down on them. Feeling as though something were only feet away, she kept urging the other girl to please hurry up, please hurry, keep moving. Was she the only one feeling this thing? Was she the only one feeling the presence? Just as they reached the road that led to her home, she felt a cold, wet, snaky tongue on the back of her neck. Her friend seemed quite unaffected as she watched her friend jerk and take off running to break away from this thing. She didn't make it very far when all of a sudden she stopped. She couldn't move. She felt as if her arms and legs and body were encased in quicksand. She started crying out to her friend to help her, and her friend came along and put her arm around her shoulders and led her towards the property fence. Once they reached the property line, whatever it was left. It was years before she returned to the cabin, and even now there's a heavy feeling that seems to move around the area. Nothing has ever been seen at the little cabin, but it still remains a very creepy place for the family who now lives next door. So what do you think it was? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you have a night terrors that's similar to this encounter, or you've had something weird, strange, or terrifying happen to you and you would like to share it, send it in to me. You can get a hold of me on any of my social media or send it to nightcolors@gmail.com. So that's all I have for you this week. Stay safe, be kind, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to Night Terrors. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button and drop a comment below. And don't forget to click the link in the description to send in your encounter story to be featured on an episode of Night Terrors. Also, you can see what else is going on in the Night Callers world. Thank you, everybody.